Long ago, in a certain village, there was a blacksmith famous throughout the region for his skill and deep understanding of life's principles. One day, a young man who was facing many misfortunes in his life came to see him. The young man asked sadly, "Sir, why is my life filled with such suffering and challenges? I have tried to live well, but it seems fate always wants to crush me. I feel like a useless piece of scrap iron thrown into a furnace." The blacksmith remained silent, busy with his work. He took a red-hot block of iron from the burning coal furnace, placed it on the anvil, and began to strike it with heavy hammer blows. The sound of steel clashing rang out sharply, sparks flying everywhere. After beating the iron into shape, he plunged it into a tank of ice-cold water. Steam rose up thickly, accompanied by a terrible hissing sound. Then, he repeated the process several more times. Finally, the originally black lump of iron had transformed into a sharp, gleaming, and incredibly resilient sword blade. At this moment, the blacksmith turned to the young man and said, "Do you see this block of iron? Before becoming a precious sword, it had to endure the terrible heat of the fire. It had to bear painful hammer blows to eliminate all impurities. And it had to endure the sudden change in temperature from hot to cold to create its hardness." He held up the sword, examined it under the sunlight, and continued, "In my forge, there are blocks of iron that cannot withstand the heat. They crack or deform into scrap metal. Those things will be discarded. But the blocks of iron that can endure the tempering, withstand the weight of the hammer and the fire, will become precious and useful items." The blacksmith looked straight into the young man's eyes, his voice becoming warm but full of authority. "Your life is the same. The difficulties, failures, or pain you are bearing are the fire and hammer of creation. They do not come to destroy you, but to forge you. If you accept and overcome them, you will become a sharp sword of wisdom. If you collapse and complain, you will remain nothing more than a piece of scrap iron." The young man fell silent. He looked at the scars on the blacksmith's hands and looked at the shining sword. He suddenly realized that adversity is not misfortune, but a favor of cause and effect to help humans reach sustainable maturity. The story of the blacksmith brings a new perspective on suffering. Accepting challenges. Do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but ask, "What is this teaching me?" Difficulty is the best environment to train patience and will. The value of training. Real gold does not fear fire, good iron does not fear the hammer. A person with solid spiritual inner strength is someone who has walked through many furnaces of life without losing their good nature. Positive mindset. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of fate, see yourself as an artisan sculpting your own life. Every pain that passes will leave behind a part of wisdom if we know how to transform it.